Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, episode 7. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. So when the episode first opens up, Drew has shown up on the scene, right? And baby Marlo looking at her like, look at this face. So she greets Sanya's mom. She came in very polite. And so Sanya was like, I'm happy she's here because I've been wanting to talk to Drew. Sure. So Drew comes in right in time to do nothing. And they sit down. So Sanya brought her gold medal as a prize for the Dirty Wine contest, right? So Marlo did her signature move and took home the gold. So Sanya starts talking to them about how she wanted to talk to Drew. This makes absolutely no sense. Why in the world are you talking in front of the group if your biggest thing was to pull her to the side? That's the reason you claim you didn't invite her to the Mommy Nation photo shoot, because you didn't want to have to pull her to the side while the ladies were there. Sanya, this is what you're giving me, honey. You're giving me I need an audience. I want an audience. And the only time I'm going to address Drew is in front of the girls. Anyway, so Drew said, when you were getting your makeup done for free. Oh, child. So Kenya's like, oh, the slick shade. So Drew is like, I'm not throwing shade. Drew, see, this is where you get to messing up. Girl, you were definitely throwing shade. Hey, that was shady as hell. So Sanya was like, the makeup was $25. So Drew was like, have you paid him? Uh-oh, child, it's giving she by Shereé. Drew, why you always mixed up with people that ain't paying nothing, honey? So Sanya is like, did you send the contact? Sanya, you have her phone number, honey. If you knew that the man charged you $25 just to touch you up, you should have hit Drew up and said, hey, girl, I forgot to give you that $25 for him. Why you acting like Drew is inaccessible? This is what's really getting on my nerves. Okay, you keep saying, I've been really trying to talk to you. I've been really wanting to talk to you. Baby, talk to her the same way you did when you picked up that phone when you got sideswiped on the side of that road. Okay? Call her on that number. Child, this is a fool. So anyway, she keeps claiming she wants to talk, claiming she can't get in contact, claiming she's unavailable. I ain't got time. As they were arguing, I was sitting here thinking, I know y'all not arguing about $25. I just know y'all not arguing about $25. This is beyond weird. So Sonya was like, yeah, well, I'm going to make sure I give her double for her trouble because I don't want her to say I owe her okay, so $50 it is. Now, while they're arguing, Mama Joyce is like, what they're arguing about is really insignificant and don't make no sense. This is what she's saying to Sonya mama. Here goes Sonya mama. Yeah, knowing dang on well she ready to get into the mix. She like, yes ma'am, I hear you and everything, but honey, I'm about to get into this. So Sonya starts saying that Drew isn't being honest, dropping it with Drew is not what it should be or whatever. And Drew is like, I want to know why Sonya couldn't call me instead of talking in front of all these people. Then I was uninvited. That hurt me. Baby, what she say that for? So Sonya started saying whatever it is she was saying. Drew started making a face. And she was like, I hate when you do that. Why are you making faces? So baby, then Sonya mama chimed in. Ma'am, she's an adult. Okay, there is no reason you need to address Drew. Because if she get disrespectful, then it's going to be a problem. Now, I really don't like to disrespect people's parents. So, ma'am, please sit back. Thank you so much. So these two fussing back and forth and back. Honey, I don't know what they saying at this point. Drew says she feels like Sonya's clout chasing. And is. So Sonya was like, clout chase off of you? And Drew was like, no, I don't have enough followers. It's not off of me. Pause. Sonya, you getting all up in arms. But Marlo and her uncombed curls just stood right in front of you in that kitchen and called you out your name. Said that you were chasing Kandi and Kenya because they had more followers, and all of a sudden you and Kandi so cool, but Kandi takes forever to get to know somebody. Please, do you remember that? You didn't have 2 words for Marlo. Now you got all this smoke for Drew? It's giving I want to be in with the in crowd. Girl, what are you talking about? So anyway, after Drew said she was chasing clout, Sanya was like, I am a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. Put some respect on my name. Okay, I hear you. All the girls were like, yeah, that's not kind of read. Put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name. Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. But this is my thing here. I hear you with the 4 gold medals. Just like Wendy has the 4 degrees. We got it. You have the 4 gold medals. I'm not taking that from you, honey. I'm not taking your accolades. But you did choose Kandi and Kenya because of who they are in the housewife space. That's just point blank and the period, and you can't convince me otherwise. So then Drew asked Kenya if she had addressed her issue with Kandi and the Panties. So Kenya was like, well, since Drew want to drag me into it. So she tells Kandi in New York she felt uncomfortable. So Candy's like, and you told her and not me? Yes, ma'am. The same way y'all do. Y'all getting on my nerves. So Kandi started getting all hyped, talking about, the thing is, you want to put the panties on. Kandi. So then Mama Joyce pipes up and she's like, you don't want to wear them, then don't put them on. Nobody control my vagina but me. If I don't want something on my vagina, it ain't going to be on my vagina. Well, Mama Joyce, it wasn't her vagina. It was her vagina. I think that's what she's mad about. What the hell is a vagina? Oh, child. What the hell is a vagina, Mama Joyce? I really would like to know, honey. So Kandi starts talking about, said the lady that was in Twa. Kandi, that's a fictional character. You know one thing I don't like about Kandi? Now, this really gets on my nerves. Kandi gets mad every time somebody does not want to participate in her candy-coated night activities. Baby, everybody is not overly sexual. Everybody's not hypersexual like you are. If you are my friend, you should be able to say that you're not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't want a dildo up my ass today. Shout out to Nene. Like, I don't want it. So I don't understand why they're unable to say that. I'm with Kenya on this, baby. Your men were controlling everybody else's vag, and that ain't cool. And I wonder why nobody else was piping up, because Shereé, you know dang on well you felt exactly like Kenya. And Marlo, you did too. Neither one of y'all liked it. But now y'all sitting right here acting like everything's okay. And Marlo, you said Kandi had a sex problem. Like, y'all so fake. So Kenya's like, I feel like that's a reasonable request. But, you know, she didn't really get into it with Kandi because, you know, they friends and whatnot. So Kandi said, well, in her confessional, well, we know that your history has been talked about before sexually. I'm so tired of the history of their vaginas being revisited. We get it. Y'all have had sex before. Why are y'all all slut shaming each other? Your history has been talked about too, Kandi. But that is the past. Everybody don't want sex for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm with you, Miss USA. Like, I wouldn't want Ralph controlling my Hello Kitty either. You don't like your past being brought up, Kandi, so why are you doing it to Kenya? But then on the flip side, Kenya, you were rolling around on that ground last season with your legs busting it wide open and popping it for pimp. So therefore, and thus and such, both you heifers getting on my nerves. Moving forward. So Mama Joyce said, I'm surprised Keontae had a problem with it. Mama Joyce, please. Just please. In the next scene, Marlo is at the Women's Expo to speak to women about her life story, and she has a nonprofit for women and girls in foster care. So Marlo is telling them about her story and how she was in and out of foster care because of her mom, and she was really angry about that, and she turned it around and she started glam it up. That's beautiful, Marlo. Because you know what? There are so many kids in foster care, and I cannot imagine how they feel. Like, I try to get happy about this side of Marlo, and then she just does something crazy. Why can't we just focus on this side of you? Like, I don't want you to be one-dimensional, but you don't have to go so low. In the next scene, Sanya is at home telling the family what happened at the cooking class, honey, because the show was no dinner. And she is telling her sister that Marlo and Shereé were upset that they weren't invited. Why the whole family got to sit down and talk about it? Well, why are we having a family meeting? Child, what? So her mom is like, well, can you imagine if they were there? So they pan over to Marlo on FaceTime with Drew. So they started talking about what happened the other night. So she was like, girl, what you doing? Here go Drew. I'm working out. Marlo gonna say, well, keep that body amazing so they can continue to hate. Marlo, you are the only one that was hating, honey. You said in front of everybody that Shereé and Kenya were trying to sign up for dropping it with Drew, knowing dang on well that was a lie. Anyway, so Drew was like, what happened? What did I miss when I wasn't there? So Marlo tells Drew that she was shocked that Kenya was at Sanya's dinner but wasn't at Sheree's little get-together. And Sanya was actually taking up for her. So Drew gonna say, see, she betting on the wrong team. Say what now? No, actually, you are betting on the wrong team. Child, because Marlo will flip on you in a minute. Like, I know you happy y'all made cupcakes together and whatnot and got y'all Betty Crocker on, but ma'am, stop. So then Drew was like, I don't see why she feels the need to go against the friend that she came in with. Meanwhile, Sanya is like, yeah, she's saying I want clout when I'm a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. I am the clout. I hear you, but that still doesn't mean Kenya and Kandi aren't beneficial. This is a different space. People know you, Sanya. I'm not saying that they don't. But stop acting like that was not strategic. Girl, you could have invited all of them. Shereé is a mom. People know her for fitness. People recognize Shereé. She would have been a good addition as well. People know Marlo. Whether she's a mom or not, she's still an acting mom. She would have been okay as well. You wanted Kandi and Kenya there for a reason. Just say that. So her sister's like, it's not like she was Melanie on the game. Okay, she was not girl Melanie, that is true, but we do remember her for cheating with Derwin. We just do. She is known for that small role. When you ask people about the game, some of the most memorable parts of the game is when he cheated with Drew Sidora. Honey, I will never forget that. When they was in that dressing room when Drew was trying on them dresses and Doran was singing that song and then she came out and did that little Drew Sidora. Honey, I ain't gonna never forget that. Yes, Tia did her thing as well. But y'all, I just get tired of them all ganging up on Drew, honey. It just ain't cute. Moving forward. So Marlo is still trying to figure out on the other side why Sanya only invited Kandi and Kenya. And she feels like Kandi should have brought Shereé down to the OLG to celebrate her. If y'all don't stop this, Shereé is all right. Nobody died and nobody told Shereé to hang out down to Philly waiting for Tyrone to come. And nobody told her to date that ex-con. Y'all ain't got time for this. And why are y'all putting more pressure on Kandi than you're putting on Tyrone? Anywho, in the next scene, Shereé is meeting with Jack Daniels. Honey, you need to drink you a Jack Daniels and Coke, the way these fools acting, for a therapy session. So Shereé is telling him about what happened with Lyrone, and he tells her basically Lyrone was in jail beating his drum to Shereé. He was like, yeah, when he was in jail, it was those 4 walls. And he was in love with you. You a dime. That's top of the line, cute face, slim waist with a big behind. Shout out to Mike Jones. And, he was jacking to you. That was disgusting. Okay? That was so inappropriate. Like, where are y'all getting these therapists from in Atlanta? Like, what is happening? And you in my house too? Oh, no, ma'am, honey. You and this kinky therapist. First, it was the fool that was over there co-signing Ralph with Drew and Ralph when they were doing their thing. Now here go Jack Daniels talking about how Tyrone was beating his own drum. Honey, I don't want to hear nothing about it. Do you hear me? Nothing. So he asked if she was done with Tyrone. Of course she's not. So she was like, well, I can't promise you nothing. So he told her to stop focusing on Lyrone and focus on her business. Baby, this flashback montage from 2008 got me hollering. Do y'all hear me, Shereé? Let it go. He told her, don't date not now another con in jail. The man that you date next needs to be free. In the next scene, Kandi and Todd are at home sorting through clothes. Baby, Todd hate every last piece of clothing coming out this bag. This was so funny to me. Every time Todd picked up something, he was like, and what is this? This ain't Gucci. What is this? This jacket used to be, I bet this jacket used to look good in the 70s. And she was like, say what now? He said, okay, the 60s. Child, I was hollering at this. So they picking out pieces to give to Marlo's foundation, right? So they start talking about her leaving to go do a scene. Honey, it's a little girl on girl action. Baby, Kandi stay working. And the Shy's coming back next Sunday, y'all. I am so excited. That's not a part of this, but that's just a side note. So she calls Marlo. Hey, Kandi Yams, looking so beautiful. It's giving fake. So she calls to find out where to bring the clothes. So why is Marlo sitting there like she doing the mannequin challenge? Child, I thought her phone had froze up. So she was sitting there for a long time. And then she was like, you know what? I don't give used clothes to the girls because that's all they're used to. And I don't want to give them hand-me-downs. I want them to have new things. Now, I get it. Okay, I definitely do get it because you want them to feel like they are worthy of all things new. I totally get it. But I feel like Marlo wants a problem with Kandi where there is no problem with Kandi, because then she goes on to say, the reason I don't want Kandi's trash bag of clothes. Girl, oh my goodness. She goes, the reason why I don't want Kandi's trash bag of clothes is because I wouldn't bring an open bag of chips to a Kandi cares event. And after 10 years of knowing me, you definitely know that I would not have those things for my nonprofit. You know, it's really the thought that counts. Like, don't you literally rent out your used clothes for profit? So your used clothes, name brand used clothes, are good enough for other celebrities, but hers are not good enough for these young ladies. Also, plenty of programs accept gently worn clothes, so it's an honest mistake. Like, she didn't know that you didn't accept those things. Girl, anyway, let me tell you something. You saying all that, but I am sure that those girls will be happy as hell to know that they are wearing something from a housewife. Okay, get into it. Moving forward. In the next scene, Shereé goes for brunch with Kenya. Side note, Shereé was ordering some food and she ordered a womlet. Basically an omelet cooked in a waffle maker. I am going to make that for breakfast this week. That sounded good. I was like, oh, I'm going to make that. Anywho, so Kenya comes in and they sit down and Kenya starts telling Shereé that she's so far behind with everything that has to do with her business because she let her personal get in the way. She's missing all of her deadlines and things are backed up because they're coming from China. But did I hear Kenya say that she does not have a team? Girl, you don't have a team and your products are in stores all across the nation? Houseway? How does that work? So Shereé says she had the same issues. She was like, I really had the same issues with She by Shereé. And, I would work with the people, but when it was time for it to hit the market, they would hit on me. Shereé, please, just cut the crap. The bottom line is you have no follow through. Let's just call a spade a spade. You have no follow through, period. Bob made it very clear season 1 when you had that fashion show with no fashions. He said you always start things and you never finish them, and that is exactly what you are doing with She by Shereé. Then Shereé all of a sudden started talking about, as a woman, you just really can't be vulnerable. Girl, what does that have to do with you putting out She by Shereé from 2008? Girl, it's always an excuse, honey. It's been 12 years. Just let it go. Period. Dot. So then Kenya coughs. And Shereé is like, girl, you still sick? She goes, I am. And speaking of that, child, not you coughing to segue into Marlo thinking you were faking. I said, Kenya crazy. Why Kenya gonna cough and then start talking about Marlo thinking she faking sick? So she tells Shereé, look, I don't like that Marlo was implying that I was faking being sick. She said, I just feel like she's being a double agent. 1 minute she's smiling with me. The next minute you putting me down. So Shereé was like, well, I was under the impression that her and Drew did most of everything. Kenya said Drew ain't did nothing. Drew was just the assistant. Child, why they show Drew mixing the cupcakes and whatnot? Kenya didn't know. In her defense, she had no idea that, Drew was going to come on in and get to work. She didn't know. So Kenya tells her that she doesn't want her to think that she doesn't care because she's a loyal friend. So Shereé was like, I just really feel like I believe Kenya and I think that she really was sick. And again, you're a flip-flopper and you're fake as well. Kenya, don't sit with Shereé and Kiki because she was just raising the roof when Marlo was talking about your sleep number. And no, I ain't talking about that bed and that mattress. I'm talking about your actual sleep number. Moving forward. So Kenya is like, well, I feel like she's still on friend probation because she does things and then she tries to befriend me later. So they show all the things that has happened between Kenya and Marlo over the years. And Kenya is like, I'm just tired of this toxic cycle. I'm done with this. So then they get done talking and Kenya picks up the check. Kenya picking up every check this season, honey. The checks must be rolling in. Do y'all hear me, honey? If y'all gonna eat, Kenya is paying. She know who she need to pay for, child. So she proposes to Shereé that they need to have a girls' brunch. Shereé wouldn't get a dime out of me, co-signing me being a Hollywood pro. Absolutely not. In the next scene, Kenya sends the ladies a text letting them know about the lunch for Shereé. So Drew arrives first and then Sanya shows up. Now, mind y'all, they're the only two there. Now would be the perfect time to talk about whatever it is you need to talk about. But you know why Sanya ain't gonna talk about it? Because she wants the ladies to be in attendance. So Marlo arrives and she's like, I'm having a bad day, y'all. Okay, my sister is incarcerated. The judge will not release her. He feels like she needs inpatient rehabilitation because he can see her mental illness. She doesn't want to do it. He denied her being released. But if she does it, she can get out so she can see the kids. She was like, her sister wants to go to trial and she's not going to win. So Marlo was like, I'm just going to let her boys talk to her to see if maybe they can convince her. Child, that's really sad. I just feel like that's too much pressure on the boys, though. And definitely don't do that on camera. because this will always live with them forever. Granted, they're going to have the memory, but now they have to watch it back too. And them having to ask their mom, hey, mom, do this for us. If she says no, that's going to weigh heavy on them. Like, I understand what she wants to do, but I just feel like she should have went about it just a little bit different. I don't know, child. It's just really hard. So Kenya shows up with that doll hair wig sitting ever so. I was like, what in the world? Baby, that wig was sitting ever so. Here go Marlo fake self talking about, you look good, girl. You look beautiful. She was like, I'm still not feeling good. Well, you look good, okay? And good looks good on you. Marlo, she looks a fool, okay? The hair is a fool. So then Shereé arrives. They all go have a seat. They order their food, their drinks, and they're basically just pouring into Shereé, telling her she too fly to be dealing with Lyrone. And, you know, they pan over to Kandi, and she's getting her acting on. Back with the ladies, Marlo is telling them that Kandi tried to give her some hand-me-downs. She was like, I don't want no damn hand-me-downs. Marlo, you always hollering about support, but when she tries to support you, you put her down and turn a positive into a negative. The woman was not trying to give you something she washed her car with. She was giving you gently used clothing. There are plenty of organizations that take gently used clothing. Granted, you can do what you want to do with your organization. I'm not saying you have to take her things. What I am saying is, why are you trying to make this into something? Girl, this is crazy. Anyway, so Kenya pipes up and she's like, that's not cool. Like, I grew up with hand-me-downs. And child, I did too. So Marlo is like, well, I used to have used everything and I'm not doing that to them. I used to get picked on. And Kenya was like, who didn't? So then Kenya says she feels like it's sending a wrong message, and it's sending them a message that their worth is in their clothes. So Kenya feels like Marlo shouldn't vilify Kandi and making it like her giving isn't good enough, because that's the same thing she did to Kenya. And I totally agree with that. So Kenya is telling her that she's not being a friend, accusing her of lying about being sick. So Marlo said, Kenya, I just feel like you need to show up and show out. So then Kenya gets up out of her seat, and Kenya is like, no, you talk behind my back. Your comprehension is very off. Marlo gonna say, no, that wig is very off. Baby, that wig is giving shake and go, honey. That wig is giving shake and go. Then she wearing that first lady of the church suit. Let me tell y'all something. I can tell she don't feel good because her hair looks sick, okay? The wig is sick. Kenya is sick. It's just, she don't feel good, child. But Kenya did own that the wig was a fool. She was like, yes, it looks up a mess. I was trying to hurry up and get here. Kenya, why do you even have that wig in your possession? Where did that come from? That's all I want to know. Like, who gave you that? Girl, that's crazy. So Marlo said Kenya hair looked like she sell Mary Kay. We're going to have to take them to Reed School. Because, like, it's almost too easy with this group. What does a woman that sells Mary Kay look like? They wigs be bad? Y'all fill me in down in the comment section. So Marlo gets off Kenya and she gets on to Kandi. And she's like, I just want more from Kandi. So then Shereé chimes in and she's like, I known Kandi a long time and she ain't been a friend lately. So she's not my type of friend. Would you want a friend like her? Shereé, you are nobody's friend. This is the first season you have ever mentioned friendship. Usually you sit around and be messy and tote messages. Now you want a bond? Girl, gone. So Sanya tells them when they came to the dinner, Shereé and Marlo, of course, she felt bad for not inviting them to the shoot, so she wanted to make it up to them. Now, mind you, Drew is sitting directly next to her. And Drew is like, well, wait, what about the uninvited one? She was like, nah, we got to still figure out some stuff. I would pay Sanya dust for the duration of her time here on this show. Ma'am, you will not sit and continue to embarrass me. What is wrong with you? So she tells Marlo and Shereé that she wants them to come to Portland with her while she shoots for Nike. So Drew was like, I was invited to that too. Sanya said, no, you were not. No, the hell you were not, girl. So Drew is really hurt by that. She was like, this is not even funny. Like, I keep getting uninvited to things. Drew, I don't think she invited you to that, but that's cool. So Sanya starts getting hype, honey. And Drew was like, you're unstable. Charlie was giving Karen at that moment. So Kenya is moving Drew's chair back. The sound effects from Kenya scraping that chair against that ground. When I tell y'all I was hollering in here, and Sanya is just getting louder and louder. Sanya, why are you getting so crunk? Shout out to 2001. Why are you getting so crunk? Calm down, honey. What's wrong with you? What is really the issue? I didn't hear Drew overtalk her, but she's saying that Drew overtalks her and she getting sick of her and she really irks her. Maybe I missed that. When did she overtalk her? I feel like you want to fight, so you chose Drew, because I don't feel like you would go toe-to-toe with none of these other heifers. It's giving I want a problem, so Drew is the only person that I feel like I can go toe-to-toe with. So Drew gets up and walks out because Sanya is yelling, and Sanya's like, she's whack, bro. She's whack. Both of y'all are whack. Moving forward. Kenya walks behind Drew, and Drew is confused how she flipped out. She was like, how did she just flip the script like that? So Kenya tells her that she was over talking her, and that's when she started fussing and whatnot. I feel like it's just dumb all the way around. I don't want to hear nothing else about it. Can we wrap this up by next Sunday? Because it's really getting on my nervous system. In the next scene, Marlo's nephews meet her at the restaurant because everybody else is gone, so they can call their mom, and they pray first. And once they're on the call, her sister gets really angry, starts throwing chairs at the monitor. She's cussing Marlo out, so nothing got accomplished. And let me tell you something. I was in tears during this scene because my aunt suffers from mental illness, and it's hard because there's nothing you can do if they don't want to get the help. You can't force them to do it. And I was also upset for her sons to see their mom hurting. Like, that's so tough, man. I mean, I was literally bawling. Like, thank God they have Marlo. I know Marlo is child. She's something else on this Housewives show. But the fact that she's taking her nephews in and giving them a life that they probably wouldn't otherwise have, I commend her for that. But Marlo, quit acting a fool, child, and focus on these boys. And that was the end of the episode. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. Are you team Drew or are you team Sanya? Me personally, I'm team wrap this the hell up because it's giving nothing. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.